Who is your favourite literature hero? Could it be that brilliant detective Sherlock Holmes? Or maybe that wayward child Jack Sawyer? Or even an anti-hero like Vampire Last Dad? Hi, welcome to Harry's Book Cafe, where we discuss everything book related. Now, talking about literature heroes, they have populated throughout ages, from the ancient times to the modern days, from Achilles to Harry Potter, and everything in between. Now, today's book is rather special in the sense that the main characters are full septuagenarians, rather than your normal muscle guy or someone with a magic wand or with a brilliant brain. Just 4 elderly people living in a retirement home. Now, if you read Richard Osman's Thursday book club, you probably worked out already which book I'm referring to. Now, this is the 3rd installment in that brilliant series called The Bullet That Missed. I've just finished reading that and it's absolutely fantastic. I really enjoyed Richard Osman's books. So the story roughly involved with 4 people, and these are Elizabeth, who is a retired British spy. Wrong. First of all, he's a West Ham fan, and second of all, he's a retired Labour unionist. The third character is Abraham. He's an Egyptian, retired, or sometimes still practicing psychologist. And then the fourth protagonist is Joyce. I don't know what exactly her occupation is. It doesn't really mention in the books, but she has a unique ability to ask irrelevant questions. So the book is these 4 characters, they together through boredom formed a very unique club called Thursday Murder Club, where they try to solve unsolved murders in the past 50, 60, 10 years. So this particular book, The Bullet That Missed, involves in these 4 people trying to solve the murder of Bethany Waits, who was a brilliant journalist, and she has, through her job, undiscovered a VAT fraud that involves multi-million pounds worth of money. And because of her discovery, she was killed before the actual scheme can be broadcast to everyone. So that happened 10 years ago. Now, this book involves in the 4 characters trying to solve that particular murder, find out who killed Bethany Waits and how and where. There are 2 additional characters which are really new to the book. And listen to this. The first one is a retired KGB KGB colonel, and the second one is a Viking. So imagine those 4 elderly people with a retired KGB and a Viking, and what sort of melting pot of a story that you're going to get here. In typical Richard Osman style, the humor is marinated throughout the pages. You get that on every single page, and some of the conversation are just the best conversation in the world of literature. Is fantastic. It doesn't make you laugh out loud like Catch-22 does, but it does make you giggle, and that giggling is pretty persistent throughout the chapters. I highly recommend this book. It's fun. And the other thing is, he actually threw crumbs of suggestions, a little evidence, and some of those are completely red herrings, to make you keep you guessing who the murderer is. And I bet you anything, you are very, very unlikely to find out until the very, very last page, and the answer will surprise you. Talking about surprising you, perhaps that's where some of the criticism of the book comes through, because the scenario is just a tiny bit of unlikely, and it does not likely to happen in real life. But nevertheless, the book is really, really enjoyable. And last week we talked about the John Grisham's The Client, talking about being unrealistic. I mean, that unrealness is on a different level. This one, you can certainly stomach it. You probably won't notice it, to be honest. But the writing style, the humor, the conversation especially far outweigh the negative. So the book is absolutely fantastic. The question is, can you read this book independently without first reading the first two? The answer technically is yes, you can. However, I strongly recommend you to finish the first two first. Now, the reason for that is because the first book especially really builds up the background. It builds up the sense of character. It really lets you know about those characters, and they are really, really important. You appreciate the book far more when you appreciate the characters in the first book. To rank the books, I say the first one for me is still number one. The one that I just read, the Bullet That Missed, is certainly number two. The second book, The Men Who Died Twice, what a great title that is very, very good in its own right. However, when you compare to the other two, it's just not as brilliant. There is a fourth one that's coming out later this year. I can't remember the name. I'll put it here. That's coming out, I think, at the end of September, so I'm really looking forward to reading that. Talking about the books, I bought none of these. All of them I borrowed from a online library app called Libby. You should definitely try it out. I'm not being sponsored by Libby. I first discovered it during lockdown, and I've been reading so many books throughout the library. And it's fantastic. Libby, try out Libby. Yeah, like last time, as I said, this channel is new. I have another channel, by the way. So if you love traveling, the other channel is called Global Hopper. I'll put a link down in the description, so check it out. So it's about walking tours around the world, mainly in Europe. So if you like that sort of virtual walking tour, very, very relaxing, check it out in the description. But as I said, this particular channel, the Harry's Book Cafe, is all about books, and it's new. This is only my second video, so please share it with your friends. If you like the content, subscribe, give it a thumb up. It does help a lot with the YouTube algorithm, so much appreciated. I aim to upload weekly to bring you the latest book that I'm reading, what I thought about them, and what next. So I will try to get a TBR video up soon, later in the week, or maybe next week, about TBRs in August. But definitely check out Richard Osman's A Thursday Murder Club. I mean, when it was first published, it was on the Google and Times best-selling list for like ridiculous amount of time. I think 3-4 months was just number one, and not changing for that long a period. So definitely check it out. It will make you laugh. It will make you giggle, for sure. Probably not laugh out loud, but definitely giggle all the way through. Yeah, check it out. And thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. I'll see you next week.